Hi, everyone. This is Carolyn with Professional Communications and Media. Today, we have a special guest. His name is Brian Hughes. He is the president of Brian Hughes Business Connections. How are you, Brian?
Good afternoon, Carolyn. Thank you very much for inviting me here today. I'm very excited to speak with you.
I'm excited too. I just wanted to ask you a lot of questions and congratulate you for Brian Hughes Business Connections. I actually became a member a year ago and it's been wonderful. I met so many great people. And so I just wanted to talk to you today. Brian, when did you start Brian Hughes Business Connections?
It started March 6, 2017. It started actually a long time ago as not a real business. We became an official business March 6, 2017. And now we have 5 business connection groups, which is a combination of a mastermind group as well as connection groups. We have over 90 members. We meet in Bucks and Montgomery, and we have a combination of morning meetings, lunch meetings, and then we also have events. And it's been thriving. 2019 was a great year from Brian Hughes Business Connections. I received the Entrepreneur Spirit Award for Brian Hughes Business Connections, and that was from the Lower Bucks County Chamber of Commerce. So it's been a phenomenal whirlwind. There's something about the mindset of doing what you love.
That's true, and it comes out, and it shows when people are doing something that they like, that they enjoy, that they have the passion for it. And I do see the award behind you that you received that day I was in the place. So I just want to say congratulations again for that award. And the other question that I wanted to ask you, Brian, because I see the passion that you have, what has been the most rewarding thing on having the Brian Hughes Business Connection groups?
That's a great question. I like helping people. I think that, we're very tribal. People do well in tribes. And I think they do working well as teams. I don't think no matter how good anybody is, it's community-based. It's organic. It's driven. The most rewarding thing is watching people grow. I surround myself with people that are smarter than me. I am not the smartest people in the room. I just found a thing that an idea that I'd like to implement where I can facilitate a group of business professionals get together and share best practices, successes, support. It's almost business therapy without the medication. So we will prescribe it, So it's been fun. You have to have fun when you do business. You have to have like-minded people. And when you have 20 people in a room that are alpha males and alpha females, they just have such worldly experiences and what worked and didn't work. So when you have a collective community of people putting their mindset to help people, it's just very empowering and very rewarding.
I gotta say, I've been empowered a lot of times when I'm in the network groups, especially in the smaller groups that you have. So I just wanted to ask you, Brian, what are the locations and that you have meetings? Because I became a member and I've been going to one of the locations for meetings, group meetings. So is there, how many do you have?
Thank you, John. We have a total of 5 different business connection groups right now. We have 3 morning groups. We have one that meets in Horsham, one that meets in Warminster, and a third that meets in Newtown, and those are the 3 morning groups. And then we have 2 lunchtime groups, one that meets in Huntington Valley and one that meets in Warminster. So there's a total of 90 members in the 5 groups. And each meeting is an hour long.
That's good. Do you have any events throughout the year that the members participate and that visitors and guests come to those events?
Yeah, for the last 3 years, we've probably put on, I'd say anywhere from 6 to 10 events. Sometimes the networking mixes we have, the business connections events, they are for members, guests. We usually go anywhere from 80 people all the way up to 185 people.
Yeah, I was a participant of one of your events, specifically the one on the holiday in December, and it was packed the place. There was a lot of people, a lot of interaction, a lot of opportunity to network in that event, and that was a very good event. Then I participated in a lunch event that you had over the summer in Newtown. And so, and if they've been wonderful, I mean, I meet a lot of people and I like the interactions. So, have you had a thing that a group member or group members find the most helpful on BHBC? So, the next question for you, Brian, is what has been the thing that your group members find the most helpful of BHBC?
It's hard to put one thing because it means so many different things to so many different people. At the end of the day, business people want to do business with people they like and they trust, and that takes time. What I like to see, one of the distinctions about Brian Hughes Business Connections, acronym BHBC, is that it's not forced, it's not high pressure. People think that they just show up to any type of group and business is going to happen. Uh, it takes time for someone to trust someone. And in order, usually people want to take. And I'm a big proponent of giving. I really think that if you get involved, you make connections, you be authentic, you be organic. You don't have a high pressure sales pitch. These are people that I call it a playground. It's like not the professional league yet. It's a good place to practice with industry experts in different fields and use them as inspiration, becoming a better public speaker. Because if I have next week, I have an important meeting, and I know that this could be the deal of the century. Do I want to go in there without having practiced that? Do I want to go out there and getting different experts and opinions? And it's good to be prepared. So it's a great pace to prepare, to talk, to pass. Business happens, passing referrals, building relationships, best practices, and it's not forced. It's genuine. And we don't have a lot of rules. Integrity, being honorable, being a person of your word, being helpful, and again, not being high pressured, but still being a leader. And for me, even though I facilitate and lead the organization, I'm the biggest fan. I'm the fanboy. I'm the follower because I surround myself with some incredible people.
I got to say, I remember when I walked in the first meeting, I saw the camaraderie, the friendships that people have created over the years in the group setting, and also the distinction between, and I've become a member of different networking groups, but in particular with the Brian Hughes Business Connections, what I saw was the opportunity for people to interact with others and get help from each other in terms of networking and promoting each other, and at the same time helping each other promote each other's businesses. So I saw that in the group very genuinely. And I also saw the fact that, as you said, yes, you have the opportunity to do speeches, to speak in groups, and to practice those speeches and to get criticism that is valuable for you, and things that people can give you as an idea or anything that could help you grow in your business. So has there been ever a critic or anybody who has given you negative criticism of the Brian Hughes Business Connections?
Yeah, that's a great question. They're like, who is Brian Hughes? You know what I mean? Like the first thing is like, I've heard people like, who's Brian Hughes? We have the Running Man logo. Like, why Brian Hughes Business Connections? Why did you name it after yourself? And, because there's so many different names, like, I don't know what Target comes from. Just an example, no shout out, they're not a sponsor. But example, there's a lot of names that may mean something to the organization. But for me, I used my name because in business, you're doing business with that person. You know what I mean? So I stand behind my name and who I am as an individual, my reputation. So I don't stand behind a company. I am the company. I am the face. And what comes that comes with there's a lot of responsibility and a lot of ownership. So I just figured I'd call it what it is. Again, people believe in other people. Tony Robbins, is named after Tony Robbins. He's a big inspiration to me. And if he's want to put his name behind it, I think that you should put your name behind your brand.
That's a good thing to look at it and use the Brian Hughes uh, name. It's important that
For a
people know
second.
that there's integrity. So, am I freezing again with the, am I freezing? It's always freezing. I don't know why. He's freezing too. There you are.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
How you doing?
Okay. So, Brian, that's a very good thing to talk about your name and having that integrity and the advantage of belonging to BHBC. If you could mention a little bit about the membership, if you could talk about the membership and the things that Brian Hughes Business Connections brings for people, what it has to offer.
Well, in any organization where it's membership, where it's driven, it's adding value. How do you add value to people's lives? And you add value by enriching them, whether it's through public speaking, whether it's through uh, business referrals. I like to call them introductions. You know, tomato, tomato. A lot of people say, you know, a good referral for me is, you know, when they get up to present, whether it's at any type of structured meeting. But it's tough to say a good referral if I don't know you well enough to refer you. Introductions is not as intrusive, not as pressure. So, you know, it's just a subtle change. So introductions is what we focus on in the group. The member benefits is we have a membership directory where everybody can put their name and their picture and their email address and their contact. And I like to call what we really are as we are networking groups, but I call them business connection groups. But as a whole, we're a company. It's an LLC. It's more like a business consulting agency. So when I sit down with a prospect, and everybody wants to be that guy or that gal, you know, where when someone needs something, I am Executive Vice President of Total Technology Resources. I'm an IT Business Development Officer. And that came to me through Brian Hughes Business Connections. Justin was one of the owners, who still is, and my boss of my full-time job. So I have two full-time jobs. But one of the benefits was for me was it found a career for me. So we've helped people get jobs. We help people, you know, so in the big picture, it's intangible. It's an experience. I could give you a cheat sheet of all the online, you know, member benefits, and you know, we wrapped it up pretty in a bow. But it's really an experience. You know, I think that, you know, you have to come out to a meeting or a group and come out and be a part of it and just see the magic. It's you know, so we have everything that every other organization offers. Except I think that, you know, we have this mindset of that it's just great people in a room together that want to help each other. In a way, sometimes it's even business therapy without the medication prescription.
That's true. So I know that becoming a member of the organization of the BHBC, there's one thing that you always say in your groups, and it is not who you know, is who knows you. And
Yes,
that's very important, right?
yes, thank you. That's our tagline. It's not who you know, it's who knows you. Because at the end of the day, you know, I can tell you a story. I remember trying to go to a restaurant, and you know, we were going out on a business meeting, and there was a line, and you know, I was watching people just walk in, and hey Sam, and hey Joe, and they walk right to the front, and like, I think it's the VIP section, and
Mhm.
and obviously they had a relationship with the owner. Could have been a relative, could have been a steady customer, but you know, when people make a warm introduction, you're known. You know, it opens up the doors. You know what I mean? So obviously, that person knew that person, they were right to the head of the line. So sometimes it does help who you know.
Yes, I believe that's true. So the next question for you, Brian, was now that we have the COVID-19 pandemic and we cannot network anymore like we used to, we cannot shake hands and see people in group meetings. How is your group now networking?
That's great. Obviously, you know, in business, you always have to adapt, right? So obviously I went from Brian's Business Connections, where we had our 5 weekly meetings and then our monthly events, to going to BHBC Live. I've launched that 4 weeks ago. And that's where we will get on Zoom and have BHBC Live, and we actually will hold our meetings via Zoom. So people can call in, like a conference call, or they can video in. And it's been a great way to stay in communication with all the members, as well as we're inviting guests to come join, because there's a lot of business owners that need support. Another thing is that one thing I'd like to say is that over the last 3 years, Brian News Business Connections, besides being, making you a better public speaker and all these other things, we passed over millions of dollars in business referrals and introductions and closed business, which at the end of the day, to watch someone's bottom line and their profit and loss go to the next level has been amazing. And right now we're at, we're a little bit of a conundrum, and we don't know what we don't know. So, adaptability. So right now, Zoom seems to be the way to continue to the engagement. And people are very excited to get outside and, inside this forum and still meet with other people. So having 20 people on a call and discussing what's going on in their business has been very positive.
I gotta say, I go to those meetings every week, and we interact with those Zoom meetings for the BHBC, and we still keep a positive outlook. And BHBC has been very helpful. The members themselves help each other with ideas, with things, with what's going on in their business and through this situation. And we are always trying to extend a helping hand to the members. So right now, what are you doing, Brian, to keep a positive outlook on the quarantine?
For me, listen, there's so many people out there on the front lines, the doctors, the nurses, that the military that stepped up, what a great country, so many great communities, the nonprofits, people raising food and giving back. What I am is I'm in awe of the support that's out there, that, people need support. And I think the biggest thing is staying positive, is just watching all the positive things that's going on, and the optimism that, we're going to get through this, and the strength in numbers and keeping community together. And I think that as long as there's a forum for business to connect and talk and people to interact, it's just
You froze.
how this great nation has been. That's always how the entrepreneur spirit has been. And that's what makes it a great place to live in America. And I'd like to thank all the people out there. Oh, we froze for a second.
Yes, you froze too. You froze again. Yes, now we're back in.
Thank you. So what keeps me optimistic and positive is that I work for a great company, Total Technology Resources, to be the Executive Vice President of Business Development. I get to be the CEO and president of my own company and keep it alive on a new forum until we go back to face, and, helping people. So I'm very excited that I think that, we'll be coming through this, and things may look a little bit different, how we interact, but, we're still going to interact, and we're still going to keep moving forward.
Absolutely. So are there any books that you recommend that you've been reading over the couple of years that have helped you in your success? Anything that you can recommend?
Well, I tell you, I had jotted down and that was a great question. I said, let me see. Just in case, what book would be The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. If I said his name right with my Brooklyn accent. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personal. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. That's been one of my favorite books. I read a long time ago, but I try to remember those 4 principles. I always keep them written down and with me. And also, I don't think there's any right or wrong inspiration, whatever motivates you, but I really can't help to suggest that whatever your passion is, whether it's yoga or meditation or the gym or just music, dancing around the house, whatever you like that gets you in a mindset to be positive is good. Take it as much and have fun. I think that, a lot of stuff during this is that people get all doom and gloom and, misery loves company. But I think a good time and fun and being positive also draws people into the fold of community.
That's absolutely right. Thank you so much for that advice. Now that you mentioned also the books, you had mentioned before Tony Robbins as one of your inspirations. Do you have any other advisors or mentors or people that you look up to in your career? And what was the advice they gave you that helped you the most?
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, Tony Robbins has been a big inspiration. Brian Hughes Business Connections actually has worked with the Tony Robbins organization. Over the last 2 times, he's toured the East Coast, and we actually had his #1 business coach come out, and he actually mentored and did a presentation and worked with the group members. And, so we've worked with them, and I walked on fire twice, which is pretty cool. Was very empowering to be around 17,000 people. My goals is to fill arenas. Right now, starting with restaurants, but you have to have goals and dreams. But yeah, he's been a big mentor to me because of his mindset that anything is possible. But I've had so many great people. I thank the good, the bad, and the ugly. What I mean by that is, thank you exercises I try to practice all the time. Thank you for a person that I work with to maybe become a better speaker. Thank you for teaching me that that's not how you do business. You know what I mean? So I try to learn from everybody. I've been also, a quote by a district manager that I worked for a long time ago told me failure is not an option. And I'll never forget that and then I've read a book, Do What You Love and the Money Will Follow.
Oh.
I learned a lot too. There's 2 individuals in my life right now, Justin Colantonio and Jim Smith. They are both the owners of Total Technology Resources. And the first day that they hired me as Executive Vice President of Business Development, we froze.
I froze again. You're back up, I think.
Okay, I'm not sure if you heard what I was saying at that particular point.
After Jim Smith, you were down.
Yes, Justin Colantonio and Jim Smith are 2 of the owners of Total Technology Resources.
And you're frozen again. What's going on today with Zoom? It's a lot of freezing. There you are again.
Hello.
Hello.
So they are the owners of Total Technology Resources, and they have been an inspiration to me because they took me into their family. They let me be their full-time business development officer and bring in new business and help grow this company because it's a great IT company and phone company. And I'm proud to work there. Watch them cultivate and grow their business. And they've mentored me on not only being a better business development officer and better IT consultant for the businesses out there, they've also mentored me how to grow Brian Hughes Business Connections. And anybody who's successful in life does not have one stream of income.
You froze again. You froze. There you are again. You froze like 50 times.
I know. I'm not sure what you heard last. What I was saying is that most successful people that I've read about, I've followed, they don't have one stream of income. They have multiple streams of income. They take on many projects. They have a focus and laser point focus, but spread out over 7 or 8 lanes. And I think that that's one of the things that, I've been blessed to have a full-time job, a full-time business. I volunteer. I'm on the board of the Lowell Bucks County Chamber of Commerce. I run their business card exchange events as well as their expo. I've been part of multiple chambers of commerce. I've also, we give back. I make sure every year that my friend's honor who passed away, we make over 1,000 meals. Last year was actually 1,600 meals for people who don't have food for Thanksgiving. So, so I think giving, taking away, and these are the opportunities, and those are how I've learned to be a better person. And I'm still not there yet. I make a million mistakes a day, but, I dust it off and I learn from my mistakes, and I try not to repeat them. And if I do, I've got the right people around me to remind me to cut the crap.
Well, that's good. That's what we need all to be helped. And we cannot do it all alone. And what is your advice to business people out there during this time? At least one advice.
Well, I think to stay active, whether it's, what I mean by that is that there's a lot of different forums, and you're an expert in this field. As you know, you help businesses on social media, as far as platforms for Facebook and Instagram, and LinkedIn, and emails. And Zoom. You have to stay engaged. I think the biggest thing is that when people are overwhelmed, they're paralyzed. And I think that's the thing, is that no action breeds no results. So as long as you try something and take some action.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Brian Hughes, from Brian Hughes Business Connections, BHBC Forum, for coming up today at Professional Communications and Media. Take care now.